Happiness through curiosity on TRS Clips. What are Rahu and Ketu celestially speaking?
So, celestially speaking, they don't have a visible presence, which is what makes them very interesting. Because all of the other entities are entities that are there in the solar system. And solar system is now a Western phrase. But Saurya Mandal predates the idea of the sun being at the center of the solar system by several thousands of years. Now, in the Saurya Mandal, we have Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu were originally one being that ended up being headless. So the head became one being and the body became another being. And this incident occurred during the churning of the ocean. So in Vishnu Puran, there's an episode where auspiciousness, everything that is good, disappears from creation, not just from the earth. So both the Devas and Asuras need something to bring it back. And they are facing into their own annihilation. So they want the nectar of immortality as the ultimate goal. So they go to Shri Vishnu and say, we need to find this nectar of immortality. So Vishnu says, okay, I will take the form of a giant tortoise. On my back, place a mountain. Around that mountain, wrap a snake. On one side of the snake are the Devatas, the other side of the snake are Asuras. And start churning. So this Kshir Sagar, which we visualize as the ocean of milk, which sometimes is referred to as the Milky Way as well, as a cosmic celestial presence and arrangement, in that the churning starts. So on one side the Devas are pulling, the other side the Asuras are pulling. So this sort of movement. And what ends up happening is from this ocean, through the process of churning, a number of things start to emerge. Now what is this? Bhagwan in the form of Kurma, the tortoise, is the underlying reality that gives on which everything takes place. The mountain is our body. The snake is a spiritual possibility, Kundalini, that is yet to rise. Devas and Asuras are the higher and lower tendencies in us that are pulling. And that churning that is happening in the ocean is the process of meditation from which things are starting to emerge. So the first thing that emerges is poison, halal. And that poison is so terrible that it gets into the eyes, into the lungs. Nobody can breathe. At that time, Bhagwan Shiva comes and he consumes that poison. And it is limited to his throat. Tells us two things. One is when we are going through the meditation process, the first thing that comes out is our inner poison. And most people get distracted at this point because they're like, oh, I can't believe this is in me. I thought I was a good person and all these things. I'm trying to do something good. I can't do it. And they give up. But you must know, and through these stories we know, first thing that comes out is poison. And that poison is choking us. When we experience it, what to do with it? Give it to Bhagwan. Because Bhagwan is the only one who can consume it without being consumed by it. So offer it. When the poison comes, when the thoughts come, when the tendencies come in the seat of meditation, give it to Bhagwan. That is one thing. Second thing it teaches us is that now we see all these photos and videos of Bhagwan Shiv with charas and whatever else. What a ridiculous image. What a ridiculous idea. And if someone says, oh, Shivji used to smoke, so I want to smoke, we should ask them, Shivji also consumed poison. You're willing to consume poison? Most people will say no. So that is part of the episode. As things go forward, other things come out. Dhanvantari, the deity of Ayurveda, comes out through this process.
One of the pre-planned questions for me for this episode was about Dhanvantari.
Okay, we might talk about it.
Cool that you're bringing it up. It's supposed to be in this podcast. Anyway, go on.
And when Dhanvantari comes, he's holding a kalash, a pot, which has the nectar of immortality. Okay. Now, when that nectar of immortality is brought up, suddenly everyone wants it. They throw the snake, they throw the churning, they just rush after it. So Bhagwan Vishnu assumes the form of Mohini and holds that nectar. Mohini is one who enchants the entire universe. Anything that is created is enchanted by Mohini. So in enchanting everyone, Mohini ji says to the Asuras, hey, you were going, how can you just have this? Go have a purification bath and then come. So they go to have a bath. Amongst them, one person stays back and disguises himself in the Devta. And the Devtas start to consume that Amrit. And this person gets one drop. And as soon as he gets one drop, Vishnu realizes that it's not a Deva. And he sends the chakra, cuts the head off. But that one drop by the time has gone in. And that Asura head that is removed becomes, one of them becomes Rahu and the one becomes Ketu.
If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to TRS Clips for more.